Good evening, and God bless you. I'm so glad that you guys are here on tonight. We're shooting a special event tonight. We are Pastor Victor Austin's church at 113 King Drive. And what we're doing is that we're having a discussion about addiction. I want to welcome you guys and to engage us in the conversations as we look over some of the promises that the program of Alcoholics Anonymous has. I use Alcoholics Anonymous as a reference because Alcoholics Anonymous is the most successful sobriety rate of any other 12-step program. So utilize the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And on today, we're going to be discussing the promises that's on the pages of 84 and 85 of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And if I could read it with you, and then we can share some insights, and we will engage our conversation based on that. The promises states that if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. It said we're going to know a new freedom, a new happiness, and we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away and our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Our deep and striking promises we think not, they're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly. And they will always materialize if we work for it. And I want to just pause right there and back up for a minute to let to basically just to discuss on how important it is to know that there is a benefits from being working a program. There are some benefits from working some steps. There are benefits for bettering your life and keeping your life together. The promises is one of the most, for me, that's one of the best chapters that I was able to deal with as it pertains to being interaction. Because what the promises did for me was gave me hope that things in my life was going to change. I feared people. My money was not good. My money was not right. I was in debt. I didn't know how to come up out of it. I didn't know what to do, and I realized that how important it is for me to engage into a conversation where I'll be able to get some hope so I can better my life and better myself. And what happens is that it says that, there's a phase of our development. These are some stages. This is a process from which we can live from. I remember it used to be a time where I used to fear not having enough money because I've spent all my money. I didn't have any research. I burned all my bridges and all that. And if anything costs some money, I was not able to attend. Friends would come around, they were living their life, they was appeared to be happy, joyous, and free. And I realized then, I said, these people are free. I want what they have. And what I found out was that during this process, these people, I found out that they were not actually doing a live show. Who is these people? Forgive us. We actually doing a revival in the live show. And what I realized is that they were able to get their lives together, and they were able to do the things that people wanted to do. And I wasn't able to do those things. So all of those economic insecurities was present. But the program of Alcoholics Anonymous afforded me the opportunity to engage into a life-changing, character-building process that helps me to get better. And it'll help anybody that attempt this here process. What happens, it tells us that we will, all of those things that will dissipate. We will no longer have those fears because as it pertains to taking care of our business, we won't have to worry about nothing because the difference between then and now is that a person can actually be in the solution versus being in the problem. And it's a different outlook. It's a different mindset when you are in the problem, looking to try to deal with it versus getting into the solution. And so as you change shifts, I realized then that these things are possible. And as I began to look at the possibilities of the hope to come, that encouraged me to continue to move forward. And as I look at this here, I see that self-pity, it tells us on page 84 that the feeling of uselessness and self-pity will slip away. It'll disappear because see, once I looked at all of the past experiences of my life, I was ashamed of those things. And those things I didn't want anybody to know about. But what happened was, when I found out that all the experiences that I went to, all the negative experiences that I went to, I was able to use those experiences to help somebody to get back on track and to help them get themselves together. Then at that point, it encouraged me to say, you know what, my life is just not a waste because those past experiences, the enemy will use those past experiences to be able to allow us to use those past experiences to keep us caught up in darkness. And it's a terrible thing to be caught up in darkness because you will think that your life has no worth, no self-worth or self-value. But the truth of the matter is that when God takes everything that happens to you in your life from the past experience or the negative experience, he has a way of converting that into something good. When God puts his hands on certain things in your life, he has the ability to bring you back from the brink of death, the pit of hell, the earth of darkness, and use all of those experiences to help somebody else. Because it was once said that a wise man is wise to learn from their mistakes. But it's even wiser to learn from the mistakes of others. Then that way you don't have to go through that. And so that helps me to deal with the fact that all of those things that happened into my life that made me feel this self-pity, it made me feel this uselessness, all that kind of dissipated, it disappeared, it went away because I used those to help somebody else. And then it tells us that we will lose interest on selfish things. See, my life is not just about me anymore. My life is not about me anymore. My life is about everything and everybody that God sent me to assist in their life. And so I'm so glad to be able to come up out of myself, because living a life of selfishness is really an uncomfortable life. It's non-fulfilling. I had no honor, I had no fortitude, I had no purpose because it was all about me. And when things is all about you, that's really like living a life of pettiness and insecurity. So I was able to learn from these experiences and grow through this process by getting opportunities to know myself. And then it goes on to say that, my whole attitude, my thinking begins to change. My outlook upon life has changed because once I found out, well, it wasn't just about me, I find it to be important to know that I can help somebody else. And that's one thing that I like about this program, that it lines me up with my mission in life. Because once you find your mission in life, and that is to be for me, is to be a servant of God. And then that servant of God allows me to do the things that I'm capable of doing, helping other people. It encourages me and it helps me to walk in my purpose. And for me, walking in your purpose is a better life than going against the grain, as evidence of my experiences. And then it talk about the fear of the people that will leave us, because people no longer intimidate me. I'm not intimidated of people. I'm not intimidated of people that's coming in and out of my life, whether they have money or whether they don't have any. I want to be able to live my life and say, hey, listen, I'm a part of this world. I'm just as equal as anybody else. I have been restored to my proper place. And the way that I'm going to do that is because I allow God to, I put God in his proper place, his first in my life. And then once I put God in his proper place, he put me in his proper place. Amen. So I want to continue to go and talk about how we will intuitively know how to handle situations that's just about life. And the way that I was able to intuitively handle situations, meaning that when situations and circumstances come in my life, that I would be able to handle those situations as a result of constantly making a decision. And I was able to get in situations a lot of times when I was decisive. And when I was decisive, I find myself in a timid position where I was not making decisions. And anytime I do make a decision, when I'm decisive, I had all that doubt in there, and confusion give way to doubt. So therefore, I was not able to make a sound decision. But as a result of being restored and having that hope and getting that confidence again, I was able to make decisions and live with those decisions that I made because they was calculated, thought out decisions. And I was looking at the decisions from a not only a short term goal or a long term, it was microscopic as well as telescopic. It was short term and long term. And when I made my decision, I got comfortable with making the decision. So when the situation and circumstance would come up, I would just make a decision and make a decision. Because I realized that if I didn't make a decision, one would be made for me. I just have to ability to make a choice. And so I was able to make a choice. And as a result of making a choice, all the problems that came in my life, all the problems that arise up in my life, I was confronted with, all I had to do was make a decision. And once I made a decision, it was automatic. It was automatic. And that's how I was able to handle the situation. Bills used to bow for me. Now I just pay them. Housing used to bow for me. Now I just take care of what I need. Transportation is a problem. Now I just make sure that the transportation that I have is fixed. You see, so I'm able to deal with what's going on in my life, and I'm able to look at these and reap these promises. And I encourage anybody that is working these steps and not benefiting from these promises, you need to stop what you're doing. Go back from the beginning and get these steps and get the process. Because the reason why is that it's like going to a smorgasbord and eating hot dogs. You can have anything that you want once you do the things that you need to do. And that's where we put our needs in front of our wants, so we can have the things that we want. It's a process that when we're dealing with addiction, when we're dealing with the life. I just want you to be encouraged that no matter how far down the scale, no matter what happened in your life still has a purpose. And don't allow anyone or anything to tell you anything different. I believe that this program is a God-filled program, and it allowed us the opportunity to get back on track and get back on track so we can be useful and whole individuals, that we get our lives together. And the promises that we're talking about is that the promises just allow us to be able to have the hope, that give us the strength, that we can be encouraged to continue to move forward. And again, I just want to encourage you guys to look at yourself, look at your life, look at your siblings, because everyone that I came in contact with knew somebody that was battling with the serious disease of addiction. And this disease of addiction is actually some ill spirits that's trying to take your life away. You know what they do about ill spirits? Ill spirits come to kill, steal, and destroy. But I'm so glad that that's not the conclusion of our lives. The conclusion of our lives is that we said that God described himself and said that I have life. I come that you may have life and that you have that life more abundant. And so Live your life in abundance. Be the man or the woman that you have been designed to be, and allow yourself to receive the help that anyone receive the help that has been extended to you as it pertains to addressing your addiction. And know this, that you are not alone. Do not allow the enemy to isolate you and to have you to feel that you all by yourself in this. There is a wealth of knowledge. There is a unlimited amount of people that's connected to the fellowship that are more than willing to assist you and help you get your life back together. And if there's anybody that's out there that's struggling right now, you can make a conscious decision to get your life together. You no longer have to allow yourself to be in captivity of addiction. You no longer have to be enslaved to drugs. You no longer have to be enslaved to alcohol. You no longer have to be enslaved to dope or cocaine or any of the other plethora of drugs and alcohol that is out there that is taking you out. So what's important for you to do is to make a decision within yourself. And once you make that decision within yourself, God will provide you with all the resources that you need. And one thing about this is that you can't lie to God, nor can you lie to yourself. So raise yourself up to be the man and the woman that you were designed to be. And that man and woman that you were designed to be was not an alcoholic, not a drug addict. And if you think about it, when the day that you had a career day at your school, and they asked you this question, they said that, will you be able to, what do you want to do when you get grown? What you want to do when you get big? What do you want to do when you grow up? And you never, not one person said, I want to be a crackhead, I wanted to be an addict, I wanted to be an alcoholic. So that is not even a part of your destination. That's not a part of your destiny. That is not a part of your career path. It's very important for us to understand how important this is. And I just want to take time out to let you know that all things is possible through Christ that strengthens us, and that we are to be able to break the bounds of these addiction, break the chains of all of this slavery, and live our life happy, joyous, and free. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention, and may God bless you. Amen.